Hi guys, my name is Brian Lefay, and it was heavy on my heart and mind to record this video because I think that there is someone coming up in this new year that wants to be a wife, and I want to give them all the advice and all the information I didn't have at my fingertips. So, luckily to the internet, I'm going to give you guys as much information as I can in a very short amount of time, and I really hope that this reaches the right audience. Again, a woman who wants to be a wife, who mostly wants to stay at home, and understands that you're probably going to be with a person that has moderate income the same way you've probably always made a moderate income. So if you're looking for, a celebrity or a person to, kind of change your lifestyle without you having to make changes, this is not the video for you. I'm going to have to divert you guys to insert whatever celebrity couple you guys typically watch, because this isn't it. I'm a normal person. My husband's a very normal person, and we live a normal life, but I'm able to stay at home because of the choices and the decisions I made early on. So, starting with that, early on, I knew I wanted to be a wife. I knew I was not going to be with a baller or a shot caller or somebody that makes an amount of money that I've never really seen in real life. I knew that wasn't going to be my reality. So, we are a family living on the West Coast, which is very, very expensive, and our family combined makes less than 100K. So, there's no way that we could feasibly say that we're gonna, live above that because we've never seen anything above that. And we got together we originally got together when I was like 23. We got married when I was 26. So I remember thinking like, yeah, I've only ever been like, a waitress. I've worked as, in retail, things like that. I've never worked any job that even really um, I would think back on and think, okay, yeah, this is a livable, wage for just me. Like, I think the duality of having two people come together and work together is why things are still working now. So again, my husband has no college degree. I have the college degree actually that, I'm not using, but he's the one that has all the experience in trade and managerial experience. So I think that's, something important. But also as a wife, there are things I have to do to maintain what we're doing now, just so that I can stay home more and support the family. I love being just so available for my family, like anything they need, all they got to do is come to another room. I'm not off somewhere, typically doing anything, that doesn't involve my family, which I'm very lucky for. Of course, I have my hobbies and I have my side business, but mostly I'm home. So let's get in the mindset of being prepared to be a wife, because the person watching this, you are a wife. Everything in you and everything you're going to develop is going to make you a better wife. So, again, don't want to get super religious on you guys, but I think being a wife starts mentally, and you have to be a wife before you become one. So, in that mindset, if you are already a wife, you're already doing the things that are going to benefit your family. One, you want to pay down your debt as much as possible. You want to go into that marriage. Sure, you're going to probably have some debt, probably student loan debt, but at least all of the other debts before you get to the big ones are pretty much covered, so that you're kind of going into the marriage with a very clean slate or a very close to clean slate. So if I could go back, I would have paid off way more of my debts. Again, my student loan is the biggest one, which I've talked about on this channel a lot. So I would have gotten as close to paying off all of my debts before getting married, but we got to start from where we are, right? And on top of that, start preparing all the things I already do. So car insurance paid for the year, renter's insurance, subscriptions like grocery delivery, my body care, my vitamins, all that already paid up for the year. So I think when you set up yourself, you're setting up yourself to have peace of mind and clarity, so that when it comes to making any other purchases or decisions, your money's freed up, your headspace is cleared up. So please, if you can, all your favorite subscriptions paid for the year, so you don't have that other monthly bill to think about. And it takes up mental space. Once a year, you are, getting ready to save up for that one bill to pay at once, and it saves you money. Most of the time, if you're able to pay a subscription upfront for the entire year, you get a discount. So yes, you're freeing up money, mental space, and time. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I promise you, if you're able to pay off those things once a year, you're saving so much time. And another thing most people don't like to talk about, but it's couponing, budgeting, and buying things on clearance. There are so many times where I would, just buy my usual things without thinking, oh man, this is on clearance. I could just get all three of my hair conditioners now and not have to worry about it for like 6 months. Start getting in that mindset. And of course, it should only be something you buy that makes sense. There's so many couponers that, buy things they don't even typically use, which I think is wasteful. So anything you typically like, you use, you love, buy it in bulk, keep it in your house. You're saving gas, time, money, energy, mental space, and that's really going to be needed. You're going to need to be able to pour everything you can into your family and your future spouse. So please do it now and get in that habit. So and then you're developing habits as well. Let's see. So mentally we're still in the mindset of you are a wife. So if you're a wife, you're gonna have to kind of meal prep and meal plan. There are so many times I was so used to, even the first kind of year getting married, so used to making myself, one of my favorite dishes. And I would eat that, there would be no leftovers, not realizing, oh man, when my husband gets off of work, he's gonna need something too. So now I have to eat and then go make another entire meal. But when you develop a habit now, you save yourself from that. So start making the big casserole, start making the big pot of soup, the entire pan of food. You're doing great, Mama. The entire pan of food because that's what your family's going to need of you. And again, of course, if you have a guy that cooks, my guy can cook really well, but I cook the majority of the time. So getting in the habit of making a larger amount of food and either freezing it or having your friends and family like taste test it for you and give you constructive feedback, oh, that's going to be so helpful. I didn't really have that. So every time it was constructive feedback, it would be, from my husband or my husband's friends if I made them extra food. So having that beforehand is going to be helpful because sometimes you're the only one that tries your food, and that doesn't help you become better, you know. And I want more women to actually have their, again, if you have a coworker, coworkers are hungry, so a coworker, a friend, a family member, a colleague, someone that's willing to try your food and be 100% open and honest with you, that's going to make such a big difference. Now, skills. These skills are going to be so helpful because life happens. Another bill comes up, injury, sickness, someone in your family, unfortunately, passes, and you guys have to make arrangements to get there and take time off of work, to be there and support your other family. Having skills saved us so many times. So please, if you don't have any of these skills, develop them as quickly as possible. Basic sewing skills, knowing how to do basic hairstyles for other people, knowing DIY body and hair treatments, herbal remedies, and then basic massage techniques. Now, the last one is mostly just for your husband, right? But I will say the basic sewing techniques, knowing how to basically sew things and fix things for other people, you can charge for that if needed. Okay, 5-10 bucks, I can help you fix your prom dress. 5-10 bucks, I can help you fix your favorite slacks, and then if you can go into any type of seamstress things, you can ask for even more money. So hey, that one dress you wore for your wedding day, I can help expand that so you can wear it on your 20-year anniversary. Being able to sell something like that is so valuable. And again, I don't care what ethnicity you are. If you're a woman that knows how to do cornrow braids and box braids, you will always make money. Those are skills that, regardless of your background, people will need. Being able to do those two little ponytails before a dance recital, or ponytails, those two, what do they call it, cornrows before a recital, being able to do a nice little braided up style, before, like I said, a homecoming dance, and being able to do box braids, during the summer when girls are getting ready to go to the pool or, getting ready to, go on vacation. Knowing how to do basic hairstyles like that will save you in a pinch when you need an extra $200, $300 to pay a doctor's visit, an extra bill that pops up when your kid is getting ready to go to football camp and all of a sudden now they need, a certain amount of money just to get them into that camp or into that program or into that new thing that's going to elevate and help them. The extra $200, $300 you can make, doing hair, basic nail care. If you know how to do any type of nails, that's going to make you some money too. And again, yes, you can be saving up doing those skills just for something fun. Like let's say you want to do hair, nails, and some seamstress things just to be able to take a dance class. That is one thing. but there are times you're going to need those skills for survival, and that's what most people don't talk about. Do you know how to make some homemade meals that people can take home and feed their families? Can you make those little meal prep things and say, hey, I'm selling, dinners. It's a homemade, fried whatever meal with, all the sides and the trimmings on days that aren't Thanksgiving, but especially Thanksgiving. Do you know how to make Thanksgiving food when the holidays come up and you can just, hey, homemade, this and that and hand it to people? Wouldn't that be good? Because it's still homemade, right? Because you made it in your house. But then you're selling it to people who don't have the time, energy, or want to do it. That's really going to help you. And now with the basic massage techniques, this is mostly for your husband because he's working a hard trade job more than likely. And he's working with his hands and he's going to be sore at the end of the day. Can you run him a hot bubble bath and massage the places that hurt so that he can be ready to go in the morning? Are you able to do that? If not, get that skill immediately. And of course, there are skills that you should pay for, and I would highly recommend you pay for, especially if you're single and you have the available income. Cooking lessons, dance classes, and follow me on this one, vocal lessons. So, starting with the cooking lessons, yes, you can learn a lot, and I mean a whole lot from online, from those online courses free on YouTube. But having someone there hands on to teach you techniques, there's nothing that can compare to that. And usually, when you're learning from somebody, this person has years and years of practice and technique. They can ask you a few questions and teach you specifically how to do something better for your family based on, any mental or physical disabilities you may have that could make it easier for you. When I was pregnant, I was told, hey, cook from the chair. And that helped a lot too. Towards the end of my pregnancy, I still wanted to do things, but my body was like, okay, it's time to rest. I was able to cook and still meal prep while sitting in his chair. There are so many little things you can change to make it work for you because you're different, right? But the next one is a dance class. Now, this is going to help you stay fit, healthy, help with your confidence, and be a really cool thing to bust out randomly. Like, you want to have almost a little talent in your back pocket for your husband that he knows nothing about. So it could be some, salsa, bachata music comes on, and all of a sudden you're doing it perfectly along with, the other people in the room. And that's a kind of a cute, exciting skill. That's something I did not have prior to getting married, even though I took dance classes as a kid. But I kind of learned from YouTube, and then, I'm still hope, hoping to invest in that locally. But yeah, they have so many little classes here that I want to take advantage of. But speaking to women who want to be wives, please, 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 please learn how to do some type of cute, sexy, dance, that you can just bust out randomly. That is really going to set you apart as well. Now, the last one, you guys are really going to have to follow me with the vocal lessons because it helps your confidence. There are times the Wi Fi goes out and you want to just be able to, soothe your family and have a little fun. And being able to do it on key and hit those notes, it gives you a certain type of, it just sets the vibe for your family. Even if you are singing happy birthday, there's a karaoke night. Wouldn't it be nice to have that little confidence and be able to bust out a few notes and actually sound better, just a little bit better than most of the people who are going to sing badly? Please. I know it doesn't make sense. It's only going to make sense to the right people that hear it. But yes, a vocal lesson, not even a vocal lesson, a series of vocal lessons just to help you find what your voice is going to be so helpful. And again, it could be your wedding day. You're able to sing a few, love note songs to your boo. I just think that's something I would truly, truly emphasize. So again, the skills to pay for: cooking, dance classes, and vocal lessons. There's no there's no price on that. And again, do within your budget, but there's no price that I could tell a woman how priceless it is to see the look on your man's face, to have a talent, that helps keep things fun and spicy. So these skills, even the ones that you don't pay for, are still going to be helpful when times are rough. Because you're going to be able to monetize most of those. You're going to be able to get you through that rough period, and it's something someone can't really take away from you. Once you have a skill, that's your skill. And that's why I was always told, go to school because no one can take your education from you, which I do agree with in some regard. But when you have a talent and you're good at it, and you have this thing that a lot of people don't have. Most people have the potential to have a talent, but most people don't utilize them. So I want you, like you watching this, to be one of those people that utilizes your talent, and uh, to do it unapologetically. You should be able to, sing, to the person you love. You should be able to sing to your family members, your little cousins, nieces, nephews, your children. You should be able to sing to them and create just a happiness and a joy that comes with dancing and singing. The most natural, basic things that people have always done. You want to be able to do them well. Now, marriage. You guys, there are so many things in marriage that I could talk about on separate videos, but first I want to talk about your appearance. In your marriage, yes, appearance is important, but while you're young and upright, please just focus on being as healthy and happy and well rounded as possible. Again, that's going to look different for most people. Well, everybody, but in general, if you're your healthy weight, your healthy size, you're taking good care of your hair, skin, and nails, you're going to be all right. And again, as a person who just popped a pimple, I'm saying a lot of stuff. But typically, my skin is, pretty good because I have a routine, but that time of the month is here, so that's a different story. Let's see. All right, I'm down to the end of my notes. Um, Appearance, look your best. Moving forward, getting married. I know everyone wants a dream wedding, but that's not attainable for most people. Personally, we got married for free in the park, and my great cousin, who was like Uncle Age in my mind, but my great cousin married us. They didn't charge us anything. So that was free. I got my dresses, because there was two dresses I had. One I got married in and a reception dress. I believe I got them both at JCPenney. No, I got my reception dress at JCPenney on the clearance rack for $60. Originally it was like 300 something. And then I got my wedding dress at Lane Bryant, which is, a plus size women's store, and their dresses were 40% off on sale. So I believe I paid, and again, there's a separate video for this, but I believe I paid $100 for that. So $100 for the dress I got married in, $60 for the reception dress, and I was able to wear that a few other times afterward. Uh, and then the reception itself, we got a hall, and everything was all included. 2000 included the food, the decorations, the table covers, the cleanup, and a day manager that kind of just kept us on schedule, and kept everything very timely. That was all included. The place is called Receptions, which is, pretty fitting. And again, that was in 2018. So I don't know what the prices are now, but I still believe they're going to be very affordable. If you just want a place that's all encompassing, you don't got to think about anything, Receptions. They were absolutely incredible. I still look back at those pictures and like, wow, we really didn't have to do anything. We kind of picked out our colors and everything, and they did everything else. So if you want to have a reception, sure, you could plan everything or have a family member plan everything. But I think for that, like I said, that mental space and mental energy to be freed up, you want to have somebody else do it. So again, Receptions Incorporated, they were amazing. It's all encompassing. You pick out your colors, boom, boom, boom. You pick out what food you want, boom, and then they do all the rest. So that really helps, uh, just help you, just mental clarity. I think that's the most important. And for us, it was like $2,000, and that included everything for in food for 65 people. And then separately, we got a wedding cake and cupcakes at a local bakery. So for, I don't know, 4 tiers of cupcakes and one wedding cake that we were able to like cut into, 300. So I mean, and then I got my husband's shirt from Amazon. Like, we really just cared about getting married, is all I'm trying to say. I cared more about being a wife versus proving to everyone else that, we were balling or something. And it was still beautiful. It was gorgeous. I mean, we literally got married at a park, but there were flowers around us, there were birds chirping, it was sunny. There are so many things that are free or very cost effective to have a beautiful wedding, that you don't have to do all those bells and whistles and spend a lot of money, or even have a fundraiser to spend money, because I want you to spend that money on your future life with your future person. I want the person to see this, to get with, a person that makes moderate income, but for them to set their lives up so that they're living this fantastic, beautiful life that looks like they make more. If that, if you guys are hearing what I'm saying. Because when you get with two people who think on the same path of their family, boom, you're paying off your cars, you're paying off your subscriptions, you know what I mean? You are owning the things that you have. You're building a life together and you're using your money to get debt free and save money and, invest in things that matter to your family and preparing to build your family up with the money that you're not going to spend to prove to everybody else that you have money, you know? And I guess a lot of other things can be put in a separate video, but when you are meshing a life with somebody, it's not going to be perfect. There are things you're going to discover, like, you know, there could be a debt you forgot about, then boom, you have a $2,000 bill you guys both have to work together to figure out. But in general, I think more people can get married once they realize the things that are the most important. Being a wife and a husband, being on the same plan, budgeting, and just prioritizing things that are just going to make a beautiful life. And I just want more women to know that you can be a stay-at-home wife, but all these things you have to do before even becoming a wife are so important because it saves you time. It saves, the person you're about to, mesh lives with. It helps them to understand that you were preparing for this for a long time. You're preparing for that man for the longest. And most women, if you think about it, we imagine being a wife very, very early on because we understand the benefits. But then we also got to, blah, 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 getting tongue tied. We have to understand the benefits for that person too. That person is going to get something. They're going to get a person that they can love, depend on, listen to, all those wonderful things. But it has to start from you. You have to be the person that starts and says, you know what, I'm going to be the wife that I dream of being for someone else. And I wanted to be a wife because I wanted to be of service to someone. I wanted that person to be like, oh man, my babe knows how to do that. Oh yeah, she can do that. Oh yeah, she's talented. I play an instrument. I don't think I've ever heard of a story where a woman who wasn't a wife wasn't talented in some way. You have to have a talent. And again, whatever instrument you used to play in high school, can you pick that back up? Did you used to sing in elementary? Can you pick that back up? Be talented, because there are times where you're not even going to be able to mentally function right after having a baby, right after getting cleared from, an injury, something where you're just going to want to bust out that talent just to keep, yourself mentally, together. You have every potential in you to be a good wife. You have every, you know, tool in you now to dream up a life where it's more feasible. You don't have to be a princess, or a queen in a castle to, have a wonderful, fulfilling life. You can still have a wonderful, fulfilling life on a moderate income. So build yourself up for that. And again, I want you to get with someone where you guys can make that dream of making more money and owning and buying things. But it has to start with two people. And I think a lot of people can make a lot of money on their own, but I think it's a beautiful thing when you can get with someone and you guys kind of start where you're at and build up from there, which is always and has always been the goal for me. So I hope you guys are kind of vibing with what I'm saying. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from because more people would get married if they knew the foundation where to start for them. All right, I think that's all I can talk about here. There's so many other notes, you guys, but I think we're going to save that for the next video. So we'll make this, kind of a part one. If you guys have any other questions, and I mean really, really specific questions that weren't covered here, I would love to either cover it in another video, but most of them I'll just reply to. So please. All right, future wives, I hope this is helpful. And again, leave the comments below with anything else. And I think that's it. My name is Priya Lefay. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye. See ya. I think I have my things somewhere.